Okay, so I am going to make this video about another dream that I had last night that feels incredibly significant to me. Jake is playing his Oculus, so if you hear screaming, that is him interacting with his online friends. So this might be kind of a long video because it was like a really kind of long and detailed dream, but try to get through it without stuttering, which might be impossible. Um, so I am holding the hand of a small little girl. She's like 5 or 6 years old and she's wearing a little white dress with like some kind of pink trim. I'm holding her hand and we're running from a big man dressed in black. And he is in charged with killing this little girl. And it's my job to protect her. And so and for some reason I'm not afraid at all. Like I just know that this is my job and I have to protect her. And the reason why is because at night this precious beautiful um, little girl, her hair is like super long and it's blonde, and she's just very very cute, very innocent looking, and just pure and beautiful and all good things, like total angel. But at night when it gets dark she turns into a monster or a demon. And this man in black wants to kill her, and I am dead set on protecting her. So we run to this house, and it's like an old farmhouse, and there's an elderly couple that live there, and they have a mother living with their mother is living with them. So the mother is very old, like 100 years old, and the elderly couple are in their like 70s, and they let us come in, and they agree to help me keep this little girl safe. And so I go around and I'm locking all the doors and windows so that this threat cannot get in. And as I'm locking the windows, more and more windows start appearing, and some of them have broken locks. And I'm still not afraid because I know that this man in black cannot come into this house through the windows or through the door because I am more powerful than him. And so I start shoving cardboard in the tracks of the windows so that they can't be opened from the outside. And the man shows up at the house and he knocks on the door, and the old people they just don't answer it. And so he starts walking around, and I can see him because all of the house appears to be made of windows now. So I'm watching him like walk around outside trying to find wood because he's going to start a fire at the front door and hopefully catch the house on fire. And but most of the house at this point is made of windows, so you can't really catch glass on fire. And I'm still unafraid. And the little girl is holding my hand the whole time, and she says, "Please hurry. It's almost nighttime." And then I realize at that moment that she is very afraid of what she is at night, but that I am not, because I can see what she is, and what she is just a danger to herself. So at night, the plan is to lay down with this small child and hold her while she sleeps so that she doesn't hurt herself. And she is afraid that she is a danger to others, but she's not. I can see that she's not, and she cannot. So the man starts threatening the elderly couple, and they try to open a door or a window or something to let him in, and I tell them to stop. And I could see that his plan is to stick a knife in this child's heart, this little girl's heart. So my plan is to kill him. And I asked the old man if he has a gun, and his eyes light up, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I do have a gun." And then I see the plan laid out in my mind. I'm going to get this rifle, open the front door, blow this chest out of this man that's trying to kill this child. I'm going to kill him, drag him into the woods, and leave him there for the animals to eat him. And so this is like this is like, it's such a vivid dream. So then I walk into the bathroom to get the gun, and I wake up, and I have been praying about it and writing about it. And so this is the interpretation of this dream that I received, is that small child is my own self, and the adult me is my higher self. So imagine that you are also the small child, and that adult person is also your higher self. And it's my job to protect my higher self's job to protect my lower self, my child self, my heart. And there is two aspects to me. There is a dark side and there is a light side. And that light side is love and light and all those good things that we like to say. It is the mind of Christ. It is the heart of Christ, is who I am as my best self. But there is a dark side to me, and I used to hide that. And that man in black is everything about our shadow that has been chasing us and telling us to hide those things that the world doesn't like. Stuff your anger down. Don't be sad. Depression is ugly. If you're experiencing, like I'm finding that I am autistic, and I'm having to unmask years of hiding who I am to make other people comfortable. ADHD, all these things that we stuff down when we're little, when we're growing up, that end up creating a monster in us that destroys ourselves, because we end up suffering the most at the end of the day. But we do, like, if you're anything like me, I will worry. Like earlier today, I started feeling myself get a little frustrated, and then I snapped at Jake a little bit, and immediately my brain is like, what are you doing? That's, you could scar him for life. And I get really mean to myself. But Jake, within seconds of me snapping at him, he was off on his own little world, like he didn't even notice, because I'm a good mother and he doesn't live in a violent world. Like, his world is freaking peachy, so he doesn't suffer. But I do. That dark side punishes me. And the point in me killing off that man in black is going in and doing the shadow work that destroys that enemy's foothold, their stronghold in your spiritual house. My spiritual house became made of windows, being it was filled with light. It was broad daylight in my dream while this was happening. And I was able to take out the enemy that's been chasing me for so long, trying to kill the heart in me. That devil that we talk about in church, he wants to destroy you using yourself, using all the parts that we're taught to be ashamed of. And what this dream showed me was that I'm not supposed to be ashamed of those parts, and I'm not supposed to kill them. I'm supposed to embrace them and hold her hand and help her to integrate those parts of herself while she is growing into the higher self, the woman I am meant to become, which I'm getting closer to every single day. And that's not just for me. I know that that is for everybody, because as we are growing as children, we have many voices in our lives that tell us what parts of us are good and what parts of us are bad. And then we build our character based upon the opinions of other people. And then when we're adults, we wonder why we don't like who we see in the mirror. I, for a long time, walked around wearing a mask created by what my friends and family thought would be the best version of me. And she was very uncomfortable for me to wear. I am learning how to be who I'm meant to be, who God means for me to be, and to be comfortable as that. So in the dream, I could see myself holding this small child as she slept and being at peace and knowing that the monster, the demon that she thought she was turning into, really wasn't harming anybody, because I was actually ultimately in control the entire time. So how that manifests in our life is through addictions and bad habits and overcoming them, anger issues and depression and being over emotional and learning how to distribute those evenly throughout your emotional body and feel them the way that you're meant to feel them, and to release them when they're no longer needed, but to also welcome them back in when they come knocking, because it's never not for no reason. They always come back because we need to feel them. I don't know how many times I was told growing up, I hope you're not angry about this. And me feeling shame, like shame for being angry about things I actually had the right to be angry about, and then stuffing that down until I'm a 21-year-old alcoholic with rage issues and exploding on anybody that is stepping out of line. Like, if we don't feel the emotions when they're there to feel them, they're obviously going to come back, and they're going to come back at times where it's inappropriate. We harm ourselves by not letting that shadow out. We harm ourselves by feeling ashamed for having a dark side. My dark side kept me alive when I should have died. So, needless to say, I had yet another amazing spiritual awakening last night and woke up with it this morning. And I always am so grateful to God when this happens, because I know that I'm not, even though I am part of my higher self, there is something so big out there. I mean, so many people get so offended. So, yes, when you meet Jesus Christ, the man in spirit, your entire life changes. If your entire life hasn't changed, hasn't shattered, ultimately exploded, then you have not met him yet. I pray that you meet God in the way that I met him. Because all the chains that church places upon us, and yes, I mean church, because most churches do not want to set you free the way he came to set us free. Your entire mind changes. Your entire life changes. The way that you see yourself changes. The way that you accept yourself and others changes. So yeah, I believe that I really integrated some really dark parts of myself last night and feel much lighter with it today. And so I hope that this spoke to you in some way. And until next time.